Greetings, Rivals fans, and welcome to weekly Marvel Rivals. So, I am a little bit late on the editing side of this, so I kind of cut it up to where I can briefly cover all the new changes. So, Blade's pistol actually does less damage when he's up close to somebody, it does more at mid-range. You can two-shot them in the head at mid-range with his pistol. And here I was showing, like, it's two-shot if I'm in the spawn door of the practice range, but if I step forward just a little bit, it's 3. And then I was going over like what I think his best one-shot combo is, which is basically to be in your E, to where you lifesteal but you get reduced healing. And you'll hold left click or whatever your primary attack is, and then you'll do like the actual shift spin at the end because it kills them faster. Because you're going to gain like more of his little gauge, the counter in the center that goes to 10. And then here I'm showing that if you use your E after taking a lot of damage, you're going to regenerate that damage. Somebody else I saw short about it, I think it was last night, talked about how his E, when it hits X amount of people, is equivalent to like X support ult. So that was pretty much all I really touched on Blade. I played a match on him later, and then I covered the Iron Fist team up changes. So he is no longer the anchor, so they did give him more damage overall, which really equates to the same thing as what it was previously. With Luna on your team, he just has it raw now. And now he's basically support fist, which has been a joke for a while. And the decay is not as strong as it used to be on his E as well. So it's almost viable again to pop the E before engaging. But I'm not an Iron Fist expert. I've played a little bit of him back in Season 1 and then stopped in 1.5. So if you want to know more about him, watch Ricey. The Luna team up is my absolute favorite team up in the game, outside of the Star-Lord one, because now you can deal with divers pretty much by yourself as Luna. Everyone you're attached to, you're going to get a percentage of health back based off of the damage you do. And I don't think it really matters which one you're attached to that you shoot. I think it'll still pull from all 3 and not just that one person. But if I'm wrong on that, I apologize. But with her being my favorite healer in the game, or support in the game, I actually play her as more of a DPS. I really like this change. And then the Loki change is also really cool with Mantis. Mantis and Adam Warlock and Star-Lord no longer have the Revival team up because they all went separate ways in terms of team ups. Loki damage boosts allies and himself, and he gets a much larger radius on his lamps. They don't have like any change outside of that. The cooldown's still the same, and they still stay up for the same amount of time. So they're just overall better with Manus. The Groot team up, he gets this healing wall. I was trying to build a house here because I was watching Flats do that, and then I was like, you know what, let's just get on with it. So the normal grass wall will attack. This wall will do nothing but heal your allies. I didn't expect it to attack. I just wanted to test everything that I could. They also increased like the range of his iron wall, the overshield you'll get from it from doing damage, to 24 meters if I'm not mistaken. And then the Star-Lord team up, which is my favorite on the DPS side, is just basically being off in the middle of nowhere, and if you know you put it somewhere near the enemy team's backline and you have ult, you can just pop ult and teleport straight to them and ruin their entire backline. And there's a chance they won't hear the ult depending on how far away you are, and it doesn't have like a range limit either. It's just however far you are, as long as it's not destroyed and you're not dead. Here I was like, oh, I'm gonna fall off the map and then teleport back to the spawn room. I've used it a few times when I was about to die as well, to teleport out of trouble and get healed. Here I was showing off Adam Warlock's change with his right click now charging his E. I did make a short about this, and somebody in the comments did tell me that they were referring to the right click. I did go back and rewatch the video. Jay did say left click, but he did mean right click, so I apologize for that one. But yeah, holding up his right click, charging it full, then getting a headshot, you can get your E almost instantly. Doctor Strange now has 10 for his ammo count instead of 8, so he gets to do a little bit more damage before he has to reload. Plus he has the reload cancel like I did just there. And this is my very first ever match on Blade in quick play. I'm gonna put a little bit of music over this part as well because I had audio issues, so I am having to voice over the whole thing and there's no game audio right now, so I'm just gonna pull in like some songs or something while this plays. I don't know what I was really thinking when I was playing this. I don't remember. I was talking about it during, but because my mic sounded so bad, I'm having to redo it all. And my audio for both got put on the same track for some odd reason, so that's why everything is all messed up. Right there I do remember talking about how my Adam wasn't healing me when I could have swore I looked directly at him, so I just went and got it myself. Now remember, Blade's E does give you reduced healing. I was also lagging, so that could have a lot to do with it. Maybe I wasn't standing where I was standing. But, so Blade's E, you take reduced healing from your teammates and from health packs. So I try and turn it off anytime I'm going to get healed from a teammate, or even if I'm stepping in a support ult, because I found out when I went up against another Blade shortly after this match when I played it again, that if they're in Luna ult and they have their E active and you ult them, you can actually kill them through the Luna ult. Not with just his ult, but they have to have their E active, you have to ult, and then just stay on them, and you can kill them through the Luna ult because they're getting reduced healing from your ultimate, and they're getting reduced healing from being in their E. So it is possible to kill a Blade with a Blade inside of a support ult. And if anybody watched the finals last night for the tournament, that was insane. I'm not going to spoil anything, just in case nobody's watched it yet. But the final was really, really, really good. Highly recommend. I did end up getting MVP in this match, and I kind of started putting Blade together a little bit by second point. So here I play a lot of Bucky, and I was kind of treating his shotgun pistol thing like Bucky. And it doesn't work exactly that way. I mean, the damage, you could say the damage at medium range is better, if not roughly the same as Bucky's. It's just, overall, I do remember questioning that Adam Warlock's ult right there. But I think it worked out for us. My accuracy on Blade for this match was actually like really bad. I think it was like 20%, but I don't know if it's because I have a habit on like any form of melee. I walk around holding melee. Like when I play the Hulk, for example, I'll just jump around holding left click. So maybe it's because when I go into sword form, I just hold left click. Maybe that's why the accuracy was so low. I say sword form, I mean his E. So what I do is I live on the pistol, and I just use the E to pull out the sword. I never run around with the sword out without the E, other than when I respawn. So that's what I meant by sword form. Now there is a spot that I found kind of funny, a little bit later on in this, to where basically my entire team is just frontlining. We're just standing perfectly still in front of the enemy. Well, not perfectly still, my bad. We're pretty much my healers and me and the Scarlet Witch are just doing a tank's job, just standing in the front line, and there's no tank near us because I think our tanks either went point or they died. I don't quite remember. It was quick play. I was learning a new character, so I wasn't really focused on anything else. I was mostly just trying to see what situation I would use Blade in, how I would approach certain things on him, etc, etc. And I still haven't played him much since then. Not because he isn't fun, just he's a weird combination of Iron Fist and Bucky to me. And I almost don't like the combination. And the only reason I say Iron Fist is because his lifesteal is almost like getting the overshield, and he has that really long block. So I would just kind of put him a little bit closer in that regard. I was also talking to someone about Deadpool when he gets added to the game, and I feel like Blade's kind of like an early-ish look at what Deadpool could kind of sort of play like, because it's still going to be swords and guns mashed together into a character. So it's possible that we will have a similar play style for Deadpool when he comes into the game that we do for Blade. I don't think he'll have lifesteal, I mean, obviously, but the rest of it kinda sorta makes sense in a way. I am curious what his ult would be. It'll probably be like the, what's it called? The like katana dance or something like that, to where he's just dancing around swinging stuff. That'll probably be it. Kinda like a Psylocke type ult, maybe. But I was mostly just, I was looking at that blade for a second and I was like, I wonder. This is the part I was talking about. We're all just walking up and then I was like, oh, we should probably let our tanks go into the front and not us. And then I started teleporting around because my internet wasn't being very nice that day. After we capture like a decent amount of the point, I started wondering if they were actually players on the other team, because I haven't played Quick Match on this, like the account that I make the videos on, in a hot minute, because I've been playing with people that are really new to the game and I've been kind of teaching them things against AI. But that was my very first quick play match on Blade, and the only reason I'm saying quick play is because I did try him in AI before I went into an actual match. But very first quick play match on Blade, got to see his MVP screen, and that'll pretty much do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in the future when we have more updates. Later, friends.